Bring the Dinkster!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are excited for today's live stream. I wasn't planning on live streaming tonight until the very last minute, but here we are. And we're going to be doing two things tonight. The first thing I want to get out of the way is what you can see here. I'm going to address something Brad brought up in his last live stream, and I want to address it because it talks about me specifically. And yeah, I think some of you knew I was going to do this based on the Discord chat. And also I'm going to do some painting, which is good. But hello everyone. Jurassic Production, hello. Alex Alien, or Alan. Sorry, I just read that wrong. Alex Allen, Rob Rice. Hot, creamy fart. He said, what did I miss? Nothing, I've just begun. And Gary Pfeiffer says, how dare you call me when I'm drunk on champagne? Nah, just kidding. But I am, though. Well, enjoy your champagne. So I was watching Brad's live stream. Not live. I was watching, if it was live, it would be much more interesting. But I was watching it back while I was doing some work. And it was fine. It was a lovely live stream. I love watching Brad's live streams. They're always fun to try and listen to the chatting live stream about Jurassic, because I've done it and I still do it. Well, not anymore, but I did Let's Chat Jurassic Park, which is what this is called. Down in the corner you got my logo there. So I pioneered this kind of thing. So I always like that Brad has sort of continued on that sort of thing, and it's nice to be an audience member. But then this stream, I was so confused by what he was talking about because he seemed to be contradicting himself a lot. And I wanted to just address this. So I've cut this, I think it was like 2.5 hour long, 3 hour long stream, however long it was. I've cut it down to 6 minutes. So we're just going to go through the 6 minutes of the stream that I've cut down. It's not 6 minutes in whole. There are cuts in this because it jumps time. And I just want to address some things that he said. And hopefully, Brad, if you're watching this, you can help clarify some things, because I feel like there's some wires being crossed here. And I don't like wires crossed. I like clear, crystal clear points. So I want to watch this and get to the point. So let's just jump right in, and I hope everyone is all right. Yeah, I titled this video "The Spinosaurus Was Not a Hybrid in Jurassic Park 3," just because that's basically what we're going to be talking about. Hot Cream Fart says the Spino can't be a hybrid because it has cancer. Yeah. Cretaceous the Hunted, hello Jack. By the way, creepy T-Rex logo in the bottom left-hand corner. It may give parents nightmares. What we got the maquette from the Lost World in the corner, and we've got the background is the T-Rex from Fallen Kingdom. Anyway, hopefully you guys should be able to hear this. Let me just go back to OBS. Yeah, you should be able to hear this. Let me know in the chat if you can hear it. Oh, fine. So here we go. Let's just dive in.
You all know my thoughts. I've talked about it time and time again here on the show, on the live show, and then
he's talking about Canon, by the way, the Jurassic Canon specifically. So just to make that clear, that's why it says Canon in the corner. So if you haven't never watched Brad's live streams, he always has like the subject that he's talking about in the corner, which is very helpful. But yeah, so he's talking about the Jurassic Canon. And I just want to bring up that there's two things I want to talk about that he brings up. One is related to myself, which comes later, but the first two clips in this I've clipped because I think they're quite important to establish the confusion I have with where Brad stands on a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to use these clips, and I'll clarify as we go. So
I'm sure you all know my thoughts. I've talked about it time and time again here on the show, on the live show, and then I've talked about it a lot on the main show as well, the podcast. But the Canon.
Can you guys hear him okay? Just let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you can hear him okay. Jurassic Hero, hello Mikey, hello Epic King Edward, got it right this time. Jurassic Hero says, hello, what are we doing? I'm addressing some things about me in Brad's live stream. I want to clarify some things here. Sound is gold. All right, here we go. Let's continue.
it's something over the years that I've been very I've tried to connect all the dots, and I've really wanted this franchise to be like Star Wars in a way.
He really wants this franchise to be like Star Wars. Keep that in mind.
Where, you know, they essentially back in 2012 they said, hey, let's start over. Outside of the films, nothing else is canon really, except for Clone Wars and stuff like there was maybe like one comic or something, I think, but everything else was wiped clean.
Okay, that's the first clip. Okay, so we established that Brad would like Jurassic Park to be like Star Wars, where Star Wars wiped everything off the map outside of the movies, aside from Clone Wars, and started completely fresh. Okay, fair enough. No problems there, right? But bear in mind, he wants that to be for Jurassic, okay? That's important for later on, okay? For my confusion.
You know, Aaron Beyer...
So as you can see here, Lewis said to him, my concern is what they'll do. They'll do the same thing what Colin did to the live tour. It's a shame. So the context here is they're talking about Jurassic World Aftermath and whether it's canon or not, and Lewis is saying he's worried that, like the live tour, Colin will come out and say a soft canon, so ergo not canon, and just wipe it off wipe the slate clean. And this is what Brad had to say. I'll rewind it a little bit. This is what Brad had to say about that.
You know, Aaron Beyer, co-host with me on The Wire, has this great, you know, saying when it comes to canon. It's canon until it's not. And it is the perfect saying for this, that it is canon until it's not.
Okay, that saying will come up later. I would say it's not specifically a great saying for Jurassic. I'd say it's a great saying for all movies ever. But bear in mind, it's canon until it's not. I like that phrase as a catchy phrase. But that also applies to Star Wars, as he just said minutes ago in the podcast, that Star Wars just wiped the slate clean. So everything that was canon before was wiped clean, and he was fine with that, and he wanted it for Jurassic, and then he's worried about it happening for Jurassic. So that's where I'm a bit confused. But bear in mind, I think my confusion might stem from the fact that I don't know all of the previous Star Wars as canon that they wiped clean, so I don't know if it was like something that fans really wanted wiped clean, or like that's where my confusion lies. But anyway, this is where we get into it, okay? So this is where we really get into the meat of this video. But those 2 points I brought up previously are going to come back into it.
Shane says Spinosaurus is a hybrid animal. It's been implied or confirmed. It's definitely been like alluded to that it is a hybrid.
It was alluded to that it might be a hybrid, not that it is a hybrid, but yeah.
It's not like confirmed or anything heavily. It's basically that, you know, it's within the DPG website. They've said that there was amalgam testing on some species on that island, and you know, it's kind of implied that the Spino was part of that program. So
that's all correct. Amalgam testing happened on Sauna in 1999. The Spinosaurus was part of that amalgam testing, and the project for the second iteration of Jurassic Park. That was part of that project, okay? And amalgam, for those of you that don't know, means mixture testing, okay?
Oh, not confirmed, really. It's not explicitly stated, but it's implied. Yeah.
All true.
Yeah, there we go.
And Lewis comes in and he says exactly the correct thing here, okay? He says Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 was created during amalgam testing. However, that doesn't mean it's a hybrid. Maybe it could be genetically enhanced. Exactly right. And by the way, just for clarity, the Jurassic Park dinosaurs are technically all hybrids because they have other animal DNA infused into their DNA and it works cohesively. So they are technically all hybrids. But when we talk about the Spinosaurus being a hybrid or not being a hybrid, as it is not a hybrid, we're saying a hybrid between two dinosaur species.
Yeah, I think the idea, which this is something that I dig, it's
Keep in mind, he just said that he digs this idea. Okay, he digs the idea of it being ambiguous, right? Keep that in mind.
like, hey, let's just put this little blurb in here on the website that says, there was some testing going on during this period. And it makes you think. It doesn't confirm anything. It makes you think like, oh, I wonder.
And remember this, doesn't confirm anything, makes you wonder. Which is true, that's why we wrote it like that. It's like tidbits of information that let the imagination run wild.
If the Spinosaurus was part of that testing, and if it could be a hybrid, or the first of the hybrid testing, it could be the reason why it is the way it is, the way that it's not exactly like a Spinosaurus that we know. That it could be a little bit more agitated than your typical Spinosaurus.
So there he gives an example of what if scenario based on the sort of like information we put out there, the ambiguous information out there, where you're like, it could go anyway, and that's Brad just painted one scenario. It could be the Spinosaurus could have been a hybrid, okay, and it could have been the reason why it acts in the way it does in the film, blah blah blah, even though it was the plane clipping its leg. But like, yeah, that's one way it could have gone, okay? And then later on, Siaka, who comes to these streams, he might even turn up tonight, says, "Dunno, Jack and Camp Cretaceous say it's not a hybrid." And this is where it all goes down the bloody drain, okay?
Where they say that it's not a hybrid, because they're the ones who are implying that it is a hybrid.
I said it on these streams, it's not a hybrid, but I only ever said that after Camp Cretaceous, which something I wish Siaka had said to him, because it was like painful for me to listen to this. After Camp Cretaceous came out and they'd written that the Scorpius Rex E750, whatever it is, was the first hybrid, and Universal considers this thing canon, I then went, you've got your answer, guys. It was ambiguous what we wrote. It could have gone either way, but it's gone down the route of Spinosaurus was not a hybrid. You've got your answer.
So where are they doubling back on their promise?
We weren't doubling back on a promise. Our promise was, you don't know the answer. Our promise wasn't, it's a hybrid. If we'd have said that, then yeah, you would have every right to be saying that we're doubling back on it. But we did not say that.
See, I feel like a lot of things that they're like, well, we didn't say it was.
Exactly. We didn't say it was. It could have gone either way. Now remember the phrase, it's canon till it's not, because it comes back into this. Thank you for the $2 tip, Big Shark.
Okay, what are we talking about here?
So Siaka says, in Camp Cretaceous, Scorpius is referred to as the first hybrid. In his Camp Cretaceous review, which is on this channel, Jack said that confirms the Spinosaurus couldn't be a hybrid, and he's tired of being asked about his hybrid status. Now, I just want to add a caveat before we get into this. I said that I was tired about being asked about the hybrid status, because after Camp Cretaceous, everyone kept going on about it still being a hybrid, and I was like, Camp Cretaceous said it's not a hybrid. Now I'm tired of being asked about it. Before Camp Cretaceous, my answer was always, you just don't know. It could go either way. Could have gone either way. But listen to what Brad says.
In Camp Cretaceous, Scorpius is referred to as the first hybrid. In his CC review, Jack said that confirms Spino couldn't be a hybrid, and he was tired of being asked about his hybrid status. It's canon until it isn't. That's exactly it. I mean, that's the reason that Aaron said it's canon until it isn't is because of the website stuff and like stuff like that. It's online and it's easily erased at any time.
What was erased, Brad? That's what I'm confused at. What was erased? We never said it was a hybrid. We said it could be or it could not be. There's two answers that could happen here. It's up to whoever wants to write the canon going forward to choose which answer they want to go down. They've made a choice. That does not mean what we wrote is not canon. Doesn't mean anything's been erased. So his saying that's stuck in his head of it's canon and it's not does not apply here. It just doesn't apply.
So that's why that is such a unique phrase, that it works on many different levels, but like...
Not here. It doesn't work here at all.
It's canon until it isn't. I mean, they said that on the site, that like there was amalgam testing on these, these species here. I don't have the exact wording right here. But, the fact that it was referenced, but not explicitly implied, but like it was basically said that we knew what they were talking about.
No. No, like he's skirting around it like we said it was a hybrid. We didn't. He said we left it ambiguous, which we did, but it's like he's forgotten what the word ambiguous means. It's like it can go either way. So yeah, it feels like Brad really wanted it to be a hybrid and he's upset that it's not. But that's not our fault. That's Camp Cretaceous.
But then to backtrack and say that it's not actually what we're talking. We didn't say that's what it was, but you just thought it was.
It's not backtracking. We never said it was a hybrid. So again, like I need to this is what was frustrating me listening to this.
We didn't say that's what it was, but you just thought it was, and it's not. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Why is it? Why is it not cool? We haven't done anything. This is where I get really confused. I'm going to backtrack because I want to hear that again.
We knew what they were talking about, but then to backtrack and say that it's not actually what we're talking. We didn't say that's what it was, but you just thought it was, and it's not. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
It's the use of the word backtracking. We didn't backtrack on anything. We did not say that the Spinosaurus was a hybrid. We alluded to that might be the case. But it's called amalgam testing. Testing doesn't confirm that there was any hybrids in that time. Like they would there was no confirmation of any successes. It's just testing was happening at that time. So yeah. I don't know what he's complaining about.
It's just because you're tired of being asked about it, And trust me, I mean, I know that he does not consider it canon, the Camp Cretaceous, but you can't choose what's canon and what isn't.
You can in your head canon, which he does say in a minute that I do, but I'm not even arguing about Camp Cretaceous being canon at all. I'm just saying, I'm actually doubling down on Camp Cretaceous being canon by saying they confirmed that the Spinosaurus was not a hybrid. Like, they gave you the answer that we left two paths it could have gone down, and they chose one for Camp Cretaceous, erasing the other. That did not erase anything from canon. It just answered a question that was up in the air. And now Brad is conflating that with the fact that I personally in my head canon don't consider Camp Cretaceous canon. I'm the one who's saying they are. The A750 is the first hybrid. Jeez.
It is canon. They've said it is.
I know, Brad. I know. Why do you think I'm so angry with it?
I mean, you could choose to not accept it, I guess, but it is. It is.
Look at Lewis coming in being golden boy here. Jack says he wrote that ambiguous, Spino being a hybrid, but in CC Wu said the Scorpius was the first hybrid. That means Spino wasn't the first hybrid. Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, Wu said that Scorpius was the first hybrid, so that the Spinosaurus couldn't be the first hybrid. And that makes sense. Look, I mean, that makes sense. But
I agree.
It is canon until it isn't.
We never said it was a hybrid. It was never canon that it was. It was never canon that it wasn't. It was up in the air, and then they chose a path. So there we go. You got your answer.
That's exactly what that statement means.
Not in this case, Brad.
It was thought to be hybrid in a way.
Look at how this is the worst bit, because he basically really says that the Spinosaurus was a hybrid in a way. Like, what?
Thought to be
canon
until it isn't. That's exactly what that statement means. It was thought to be hybrid in a way. Amalgam testing, all that stuff. It was until Camp Cretaceous came out and said the Scorpius was the first hybrid. So you're telling me the Scorpius was made pre-2012. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. It's a big mess.
It's not a mess. The Scorpius Rex was made before the Indominus. We don't know exactly when the Scorpius Rex was bred, but it was obviously sometime during the events of, when Jurassic World was operational on Nublar, because we saw a previous video of Wu being attacked by the thing in his lab when it was, first grown and all that sort of stuff. But Brad saying it's a big mess. What's the mess here? The DPG... Right, let's just lay this out. Jurassic Park 3 comes out and says the Spinosaurus was not on InGen's list. The DPG website launches and answers why it wasn't on the list. There was some illegal cloning going on, and it said that there was 2 reasons why they were cloning in 1999. The second iteration of Jurassic Park, which loads of people seem to overlook, and obviously there's a huge park open in 2005, or 4, whenever it opened again. So it's like, that's a big one. And the amalgam testing, and everyone seems to think, not everyone, but like a lot of people seem to think that meant it's definitely confirmed a hybrid. But whenever anyone asks me, and I know everyone in this chat who comes to my live streams know this for a fact, that like before Camp Cretaceous came out and said, all I said was, we don't know. It's ambiguous. You don't know the answer. It's still a mystery. All things I would say. So this does not make any sense to say it's messy when CC comes and says the Scorpius was the first hybrid. It's completely crystal clear. But Brad has got this saying in his head, it's canon until it's not, which he seems to love to put against Jurassic and like hold Jurassic's feet to the fire with that phrase. But he wants, and this is where I get confused on the second point, but he wants Jurassic to be like Star Wars, and Star Wars retconned an insane amount of canon out of the window to start fresh. So Star Wars can get away with it, but Jurassic can't. But even in this case, the point he's bringing up is not an example of that. So there we go. That's what I wanted to address. Brad, if you're watching, man, I need you to, I don't know, answer me. Talk to me, man. I've offered to come onto the wire to clear up some things. I want to talk about it face to face. Anyway, let's do some painting. But first, actually, let's put some music on. Let's look at the chat. What are you guys saying? Big Shaq says this whole argument is pointless. It is pointless, but the thing that gets under my skin about it is the fact that like I'm being strawmanned. Like he said, like he took that my position was I'm tired of talking about this hybrid thing because it's like I've been tired about being asked about it for ages, and that's not the case. It was only after CC came out. And yeah, Jurassic Heroes says Mazrani Global didn't say the Spinosaurus is a hybrid, just a fan theory. Exactly. It was a fan theory based on, our ambiguous writing, but it was still a theory and it can still go one way or the other. But I get the sense that Brad was doubling down on this certain path in his mind. And then he said that like we're backtracking on it, and it's like, we're not backtracking on it. It's like he doesn't know my argument, like my position on this. He assumes he knows. Mikey says, I think the Spinosaurus in JP3 had enhancements to make it more aggressive, playing with DNA. The Spinosaurus was not a hybrid. What's next? Cooper wasn't a professional. Red Hood. That was good. Hot Creamy Fat says Star Wars is not a good example of anything. Legendary says, I think I remembered the website did say the Spino was an accident. No. The only thing that, like, I'm not saying it... No, actually. The thing is, it said there was an accident left on Sauna. Never confirmed what species or anything, so... Anyway, let's get drawing. So yes. It's so funny though, just like watching live streams about like Jurassic fans out there, and just hearing people talk about my point of view and getting it wrong. It's like, how many times do I need to... I speak in plain, simple English. I don't have any accent I'm aware of, except a lovely British one. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing okay tonight. Jurassic Room says, hey Jack, speaking of JP3, I just picked up a huge JP3 DVD rental banner for 50 cents. It's on your collection on Discord. I will check that out later. On the Job Filmmaking asks, hey Jack, have you watched Faulty Towers? Many years ago. There's only like 12 episodes or something, isn't there? I think I've watched them all many, many years ago. What species am I drawing? The Calypsosaurus. Red Hood says, I finally watched Primeval for the first time and I say I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, Primeval's great. Oh, so funny though. I think I just get like most, dare I use the word, triggered when I say my position so openly and clear. And I think it's because I admire Brad that it gets to me. It's like I don't want him to be the one that's like getting my positions wrong and then getting annoyed by it. Like, he put his head in his hands, man. I don't want to see him do that over something related to myself. Jurassic Heroes says, wait, that's a dino mech. What is this, Godzilla vs. Kong? Dude, you're speaking like someone who hasn't watched episode 3 of Dino-Defenders. You should go and watch it. All your answers are there. Nigel got an upgrade. I'm just thinking, what else do I need to do? Big Shark says, yes, Bladekin is pretty badass. You, in the words of Grant, you have no idea. Cataclysmic Production says, the Spinosaurus mystery on Isla is my favourite from the franchise. Yeah, mine too. One of my favourite mysteries. Jason Kruger says, I seriously hate how I miss these streams. You're here, man. You didn't miss it. How could I almost miss the one titled about JP3 Spino not being a hybrid? It's such a controversial subject still. Why? That's the thing. I don't get why it's controversial at all in the fandom. Cam Cretaceous gave you the answer. Oh. Not saying you, Jason, find it controversial. It's just like in the fandom. It's like you've got your freaking answer. It's like someone going, what shirt is Alan Grant going to wear? Is it going to be blue? Is it going to be green? Is it going to be purple? And then the movie or series or whatever comes out and you can see his shirt is blue. And then everyone's like, oh, still a controversial subject. It's like, it's right there, your answer. Like, what do you want? It's like right there on screen. It's a pointless controversy. Damn right, Big Shark. You goddamn right. Shirtgate, says Epic King Edward. Jurassic Heroes says, I thought Primeval was overrated. I didn't like the concept of dinosaurs being inaccurate for the sake of being cool. Then you won't like Dino-Defenders. That's all I do, baby. Yeah, Primeval's like got mammoths and monsters and witches and ghouls and goblins and vampires and all sorts in it. So the dinosaurs being inaccurate should be the least of the worries of that show. Jurassic Heroes says, because Dino-Defenders had genetically engineered animals, if they were dinosaurs evolved in modern day, then I guess this is like King Kong. Ooh, you wait till episode 4's out, man. I think I can even like point back to my Jurassic Park 3 misconception video about the Spinosaurus being a hybrid when I was addressing Spinosaurus as the king. I don't want to bring up his name because we're going to get the chat to go crazy, but Spinosaurus the King's video where he said I said it was a hybrid and I had to make a video addressing no I didn't. And in that video, I think that was before Cam Cretaceous came out and confirmed that the Spinosaurus wasn't a hybrid. So I was, even in that video, if I remember correctly, I'm saying, see, I'm saying it's could go either way. I think I say in that video, like, no, I didn't confirm that it was a hybrid. I'm just saying, like, it could be or it might not be at that time, because that was the case. Jason Kruger says, there are plenty of reasons, but one fans bring up a lot is that it's not scientifically accurate and way too aggressive and powerful to be a non-hybrid. But the thing is, it could just be genetically enhanced. It doesn't have to be a hybrid. That's the thing. There's so many things that it could be that's not a hybrid. Big Show says, we don't speak his name here. This is the Dino-Defenders Extreme Church. Praise be, brother. Jason says, and some to refuse to accept the evidence from the Mazarani DPG websites isn't specifying the Spino. It's vague on purpose, like you said many times. Exactly. Exactly right, Jason. He says, it doesn't have to be a hybrid to be the way it is. I've never seen anyone say the raptors or Dilophosaurus are hybrids, despite how inaccurate they are. Exactly. And by the way, again, we have to make sure our definitions are clear. When we're saying hybrids, we're talking about a mixture between two dinosaur species. Technically, all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park film series and books are hybrids because they're mixed with other animals. DNA is inserted into their DNA to get them to even grow. So yes, they're all technically hybrids, but when we're talking about hybrids, we're talking about dinosaur DNA interlocking. Jason Kruger says, but yeah, some things in the fandom just never go away regardless of who speaks up. Dude, it's funny that you say that, because I was talking to Jurassic Collectibles in a private chat earlier today. We were talking about the T-Rex design again, and I said that subject is always going to turn up, is always going to be a thing, because he was saying, I've heard they've improved it for Dominion. He hasn't seen it, but he said, I've heard that they've improved it for Dominion. And I said, but the debate won't ever go away, because there's never one single design for the T-Rex throughout the entire series, and it'll always take place because there are two designs for the T-Rex in the first film, the animatronic and the CGI one. So like, there's always going to be a debate about the look of the T-Rex, no matter what they do with it. Doesn't matter how. And I said, like, to clarify my position on that, it basically goes like this. I don't care if someone says, oh, you know, I wish they'd made the T-Rex in Jurassic World, the new films, look like the animatronic, or I wish they'd made it look just like the CG T-Rex. What gets to me is when they say, oh, I wish they made it look like the Jurassic Park T-Rex, or they've improved it, because my mind then jumps to, improved it towards what? Like, what's the improvement towards? Because if they've improved it, you've got a goal to go to. So like, what's that goal? And to me, my mind just melts there, because it's like, there's two designs in the first film, so what are we going for here? It's just one of those debates that will always come around. But someone else said in the chat, and I forget, I think might have been James, said, like, I've never heard anyone, James Ronan, I think, brought it up. He said, I've never heard anyone have the same discussion about the blue not looking accurate or sounding accurate or whatever to the ones from the first film, and it always just seems to be the T-Rex is like the thing that everyone goes after. And I said that's idolatry. And he was like, I think it's just nostalgia goggles. And I was like, well, yes, but nostalgia goggles are the path to idolatry. So Jurassic Heroes asks, what's your thoughts on the Giga from Dominion? To me, it could have been great, but they removed the spikes off her back. I love it. I think it looks great. It looks mean. Does the job. It's my thoughts. Does what it says on the tin. On the Job Filmmaking says, if you really want to get into the Rex design, both T-Rex designs in the first movie are grey, but the Jurassic World film, it's brown. No. The one in Jurassic World is like a greeny grey brown colour. Jason Kruger says, that's a good point. When people say the JP Rex, which design are they talking about? ILM or Winston? Even the Buck T-Rex in the second film has a variation. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like there's no unified design for the T-Rex. And everyone out there, every single individual Jurassic fan has the perfect version of Rexy in their mind that they're trying to see on screen when they watch the new movies. I guess. And it's like, it's just pointless to chase it, because it's like chasing a drug or whatever they say. Like, what's that saying? Oh god, I'm gonna forget the saying now. It's like chasing. I want to say chasing the turkey, but that's not a saying, is it? Oh god, I forget it now. Chasing the dragon. Is that it? Is that the drug saying? It's like chasing the dragon. I was saying like that. I think the fandom, when it comes to the T-Rex design, they've stared so long into the abyss that the abyss has started to stare back, and that's why it drives some fans mad, because they can't articulate what the perfect T-Rex design looks like, and it's impossible because there's not one. JP Canatoris dude says, "What's your thoughts on the Mattel Jurassic World toy line, Jack?" There's a lot of pieces in it that when I was a kid I would have killed for, but I'm not too fussed about it. Now I'm an adult, I don't really care about the toys. Jason Kruger says, "From what I remember, the maquette and animatronic is the brown we know, and that's shown in the VC Ender, but it's obscured in most other scenes." Chasing the turkey. It's like I can pull up. I think I've got it on hand actually, like directly on hand, because I've got a screen cap website up. Yeah, here. Look at this. That's not brown. That's not like entirely brown. You can see like the sort of yellowy grey colour, you know? And a lot of people don't realise she has the stripes down her back like she does in the first film in Jurassic World. I know a lot of fans I've seen out there go, "She doesn't have the stripes." And it's like, yes, she does. You're just not looking hard enough, son. And I can show you them right here. Look. Stripe, 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 stripe. You can see it down the tail as well. Stripe, stripe, stripe. And I guess there's one on there. Stripes are all there. You can see them along the back. Just a little side note for you. But that's just like colour design, you know. Not discussing the actual design of the actual like shape of the head or whatever. Why am I not? This one. Big Chuck says, "So you can have Calypso transform into Optimus Prime to defeat Bladekin." No, it's not a transformer. I can see everyone talking now in the chat. We're going down the idolatry road. Let's do it. Let's go down. Let's chase the turkey. Where are we looking? Where are we looking? Where are we looking? Here we go. Look. Look. There you go. Because I saw someone said, Jurassic Heroes said, "I didn't know Rexy had stripes. She's getting older." Look, stripes in the first film. Stripes, stripes, stripes. Stripes all down the body. They're all there. And also, I want to point out something else. A lot of people say that the T-Rex in Jurassic World looked too thin. And it's like, it's fair enough. And they used that shot of her eating the Gallimimus as like an example of like how fat she was. As you can see here, which is this image. See this image? You know, you can see how fat she is. But then But then in the first film, you've got shots like this, where people in my Discord are going to know like what I'm talking about here. But like you got shots like this. No, not that one. The frame. Here we go. I thought I had the right one. This one. No, why are you not copying the image I want? Copy image. This one. There you go. As you can see here, look at how thin her body is. Like you can trace the neck down. Look, ooh, like little thin sausage. Look, she's a sausageosaurus. It's just camera angles. I'm not saying she's not thin. I'm not saying she's not fat. I'm just saying like the way the dinosaur look will change between shots because of camera angles, lenses, all sorts of manner of things. Lighting can have an effect. So this idea of like the T-Rex must look a certain way is something that will always be debated because there's so many things that make it look different between movies, between shots, the size change. It's like it's impossible to pin down. So on the job filmmaker says, I mean, she's old, why wouldn't she be skinny, and she's been trapped in a cage for 15 years before the Jurassic World incident. Well, she hasn't been in the cage for 15 years, but she's been in there a while. But yeah, her diet would have changed. Like the in-universe answer is yeah, she would be thinner. She's not out, getting the exercise and all sorts. But you get my point. It's just one of those things that will always be debated in the fandom because there's no singular look. But then I get strawmanned in other debates where people are like, Jack says that there's no difference between the Jurassic Park T-Rex and the Jurassic World T-Rex, and he just likes the Jurassic World T-Rex. It's just like, oh, you don't listen to what I'm saying. Jason says, usually I think the zoo animals getting fatter in captivity since they don't have to exercise as much to get their food and they don't have to worry about predators. It's odd to me that the opposite happened for Rexy. Well, it's diet. She was fed goats. It's like, I know we wrote it on the DPG website about how she was eating like Parasaurolophus and all that sort of stuff. It's like she had a bit, and they were breeding, and she was eating all sorts over the years. So like there was more for her to eat. Hot Creamy Fart says, Calypso is going to use the self-destruct protocol and detonate her platinum cobalt reactor. Stop distracting Jack from doing the thing. Jurassic Heroes says, I think they're criticising her design Jurassic World because they're blinded by nostalgia. It might play a little part of it, but it's, they have this, like I said, they have this vision of what it should look like in their head, but it's based on two designs. And if they want it to look like one of them, like the animatronic or the CGI, fine. But you can't expect them to look like both of them and not look different. Big Shark says that's because they don't want to listen to you, Jack. In their mind, they already have what they want, and you say retcon what they want, even though you're not saying that. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny you say that, because what did I say in the chat earlier? This private chat that I had. Yeah, Jurassic Collectibles was talking about how they should do a documentary on when the trilogy is done called Honing Rexy, where they like follow the design along. And I said more like whining fans and how to trick them into thinking what they got, how to trick them into thinking they got what they wanted. That's what it should be called. Because the T-Rex still doesn't look like the one from the first film, no matter how you cut it, because there's two designs in the first film. Simple as that. Simple as that. It might, because it's a combination, like a mixture of the T-Rex designs in the first film. It might like appear like it looks like the animatronic in one shot, and then it looks like the CGI in another, and it looks like an animatronic, and then it looks like something completely new in another. I just find it so funny. But anyway, that, you know, I don't want to keep rocking on about this bloody point. We've been talking about it for years, but yeah, it's one of those things, like I was saying, it's one of those debates that will just always be around in the fandom, because there's never one unified thing, but there's a great swath of fans who believe they are seeing one thing. Oh, and I just want to take this moment in this live stream to break my NDA on Dominion. Now, what I'm about to say is NDA breaking. I'm being serious here. I'm about to tell you something, a really big spoiler from Dominion, but none of you are going to believe me. And that's why it's the perfect way to break my NDA. Because none of you are going to believe me, so none of you will go to Colin on Twitter. None of you are going to rat me out, because you're just going to think he's not telling the truth. But I am. Here it is. Alan Grant dies in Dominion because he falls inside a wood chipper. There you go. I've said it. It's out there. Whew. God, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble. Legendary says, they never complained about Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2 returning in Spider-Man No Way Home. Why are the fans complaining about Alan, Ellie, and Malcolm returning in Jurassic World Dominion? Who's complaining about Alan, Ellie, and Malcolm returning? I haven't seen anyone do that. Asylum of Pain says, be great. Hello, by the way. Says, be great for them to have you go official again and do a huge FAQ on a lot of topics. Hurt feelings aside, be great. Well, it'd be fun. And I'll say this, like, I think it's because, like, I don't have the answers for everything. Like I said, like, I don't know all the ins and outs of what they're doing for, like, Camp Cretaceous or Jurassic World Aftermath or anything that, like, is technically considered canon by Universal, right? That they consider canon. I'm not in on everything, but what I do know is how to ride that wave and write something that can stand the test of time against other canonical entries. Like, that's why we wrote it ambiguous, for that reason. It meant that what we wrote into the canon can actually last and stay there for a while. in order to write out what we wrote, they have to do something catastrophic to the canon to get rid of it. I'm not saying it can't be done. It just has to be like this huge thing. But when we worked personally with Colin on those websites to make sure they lined up with the information that they're writing for the film, we worked in person with Universal's people on solidifying a canon timeline, which goes up to a certain point and then sort of stopped because they hadn't written the next part, and that's where we jumped ship. So they can do whatever they want, and they can write things, and it might contradict some things that we wrote and all that sort of stuff, but it's gonna have to be like really big to do that. My position on that is, if they do it, fair enough, whatever. And I know that's annoying, but at the same time, what can you do if they do that? Like, if it's done, it's done, isn't it? But there's always headcanon. That's the thing. That's the beauty of headcanon. Just do what you want. Amber Production, hello, says the T-Rex debate is just like the teacher from Matilda. I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're small. Yeah. Jason Krieger says, we're going to bring the OG cars back and this movie is going to pay respect to the whole franchise. Kills Dr. Grant hilariously. Yep. I'll say this, it's not hilarious. It just sounds hilarious when you say it out loud. Asylum of Pain says, that's why they need someone like you long term, a constant keeper of truths and answers of why, when, where, and if, consistently on the whole universe. Would be amazing. You did great stuff. Well, thank you, man. Well, the thing is, like, it's just knowing the balance and, like, having good communication with the people who are currently working on the canon. Like, being in good communication with Colin helps. But yeah, I would love them, like any fan would really, if they brought me on as like a full-time part of the team on the inside, keeping the canon for them and working on all their, like, being a consultant on all their future projects. But that's not what we are. We were for a little while, but we're not anymore. Like there's stuff I can't talk about, but like, yeah, it's not like we're there 24/7 and like they're working on Camp Cretaceous season 4 and they're like, right, we're going to show you Camp Cretaceous, an early cut, can you make sure it lines up with everything or anything like that. It's like none of that happens. And plus, God forbid they ever did that with me in Camp Cretaceous. I'd be like, yeah, there's so much that needs to change. Nothing like crazy. More animation, and that just costs money. Jason Krieger says, see, you say you worked personally with Universal's people and with Colin Troy, but then the fans still whine that your word means nothing. I don't get it. Well, the thing is, it's like, okay, it's a classic case of timing, right? It's all down to timing. So, like, we get blamed for the DPG killing Sauna all the time. Like, I see it in the fandom, like, oh, why'd the DPG website have to kill off Sauna, blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. And, it might be from kids, and that's, so it's like, they're young, I don't really want to, like, blame them or anything, It's like playground banter. But just to be clear, we went to the set of the DPG while they were filming the movie before we'd done anything, because the first thing they did for us to get us involved in Fallen Kingdom was, like, you're coming to the set. Before we'd signed contracts or anything, we'd signed an NDA because we were going there. But before you sign contracts and all that sort of stuff, you're going to the set to see filming. When we get there, they're filming the DPG scene, and we learn through them telling us the story, and we see storyboards, all this sort of stuff, that Sauna, like, Isla Nublar is the place of the last, the known last living place of dinosaurs. And immediately I'm there on set going, well, what the heck, what happened to Sauna? Like, I'm asking the question that every fan is going to ask when the movie comes out. And they tell me the answer, and I'm, this is way before Dominion and everything that might do. But it's like, we didn't like we had to come up with like an idea of how to answer that through the build up to Fallen Kingdom's release. And obviously people see that first before they see the movie, and then they get it in their heads that we did that. And it's like, nope. Jason Kruger says, it would be awesome if they did that. I'm kind of afraid that if you guys aren't around, the consistency is going to fall apart when it comes to canon events and timeline. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But, you know, when it comes to these huge franchise, it's like, what can you do? Jurassic Room says it'd be funny if Colin just watches Clayton's videos and is like, I've got this. Asylum of Pain says, makes so much sense, obvious sense. Mad to think that in the internet age, franchises don't take advantage of such resources. Still, I'm thankful for what you did. Just a heart pang of what if. The thing is though, like, I'm not perfect. Like, I get things wrong still because there's so much information on these movies. Like the DPG website, like, I didn't realize that the Apatosaurus was a skeleton in the Lost World. So I believe Apatosaurus was going to be on the in like the InGen list at one point, and then it was omitted. And I mean, that kind of still works because, you know, they had to grow the dinosaur at an early age to know what it was and all that sort of stuff. But it's still like kind of, I didn't know about that, and had I known about it, I would have written the list a little bit differently. Or like, you know, the one I get in the neck from some Jurassic fans, I had a debate about this, was, you know, writing that the embryo storage in the visitor center getting flooded, and it's like they were saying, how did it get flooded? Because it's on the floor above, you know, it's not on the ground floor. And so I was saying, like, well, you know, there's many ways you could interpret it, and well, like, you can imagine how it went down, but it is like, if I should have written that a bit better, a bit clearer, and made it a bit better. But it's like, you know, we're not perfect. Things will slip through the cracks. Universal Studios says, Jack, after the stream ends, you and I are going to have a little chat, okay? Okay, Universal Studios. We'll have a little chat. I'll be glad to. Bring it on. I'll be glad to have a little... What's that quote from Alien 3? I'll be glad to have a little chat. There's Lieutenant Andrews. Jurassic Production says, why my favourite character is dead from a freaking wood chipper. Well, Jason Krieger said, I want to see what Jack would do for his own InGen list. What do you mean? Because the list you see on the website is one I wrote, so... Oh, do you mean like... No, because I was sticking to the canon, so like I had to go by what they wrote. I don't get what you mean by that. You might have to clarify. Jurassic Room says, Jack, I hears a knock at the door, goes and checks, doesn't come back. His wife puts on a post asking who's Jack. Yeah, I just get disappeared by Universal. You told everyone about the wood chipper, Jack. Like without constraint from confirmed material. Oh, right, okay. You'd be looking at it with basically Dino-Defenders. Megalosaurus, Tanastropheus, Megaraptor, Camarasaurus, Kentrosaurus. A leopard seal hybrid. Hoi hoi hoi. Hoity toity. See you later, Gary. Hot Creamy Fast says, by the way, this scene needs more Tanastropheus. Dude, you and the Tanastropheus, right? You are going to be very happy. Come episode 5. Just calm down. Rob Bryce says, I do believe the 5-minute scene for Dominion did show Pteranodons, unless I'm wrong. Yes! And they also showed in that preview Pteranodons diving under the water, which I really appreciated because that harkens to Zara's death scene. Showing them like fishing, diving under the water for fish. Need to make that pupil a bit smaller actually, don't I? Like, as a behaviour of the Pteranodons in Jurassic World that I absolutely love is them diving under the water. So freaking cool. Because it's like such an animalistic thing to do. And I love that's what makes him different to like the Pteranodons in Jurassic Park 3, which seem to be completely afraid of water because they couldn't go underwater. Carlos Vega says, hi everyone, why blue, an iconic and successful dinosaur design, change in Camp Cretaceous if it's intended to be canon? So many complaints about the T-Rex in Jurassic World movies and no riots about that. Well, it's because most of the people who watch Camp Cretaceous don't care about it because it's a cartoon. It's like, it's a cartoon, it doesn't matter. The thing is, it doesn't really matter because it's not important to the plot. You know, you can tell it's blue, that's the point. But what I don't get about that is, like, how did that even come about? Because surely they would just have blue, the CG asset, to just use. Like, I don't get why they then changed the head. Like, I don't really care, but at the same time, I just want to know, like, how that came about, because it's so weird. It's like... Or, like another example is, like, why the scars are missing on the T-Rex. It's like, how did they overlook that? Like, shouldn't that be, like, with them? These, like, really basic, simple things. But, you know it's the T-Rex, you know it's blue, it doesn't really matter. Rob Rice says, I also believe there's paleo evidence of pterosaurs capable of diving because of trace fossil evidence of scratch marks from an ancient seabed. Oh, that's cool. I do like that this has, like, flat, goofy teeth. It almost looks like it's going, Dwayne Dibley. I think it's got like a red mouth. Yeah, there. I sort of omitted that. Oh no, I haven't kept to my canon. Needs the red mouth, or you won't know it's Calypso. I actually do want to put that on. It's meant to be gums, isn't it? And plus, like, it's meant to be like referencing old World War II fighter planes, and they always had that like red mouth. I'll just do the top, looks cooler. Changing between shots. Scooby Snack says, do you think there'll be a 5th season of Camp Cretaceous? I don't know. Or do I? Jack, did you like Elysium? Says On the Job Filmmaking. I saw it once many years ago. Can't really remember much from it. Jurassic Production asks, Jack, how old is the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3? It's like 2 years old or so? Maybe just a little bit over 2 years old. Jurassic Heroes says, Jack, what's your favourite child character in the Jurassic series? I love Maisie Lockwood. She deserves the love. Yeah, Maisie's amazing. Amazing. I like Maisie. She's the best kid character because she's actually got a storyline, like a deep storyline. Hot Creamy Fat says, I'm surprised Turner didn't redline a fizz milk ad onto Calypso. Right. Okay, why did it do that? There we go. Now I need to remember to scuff this all up when it's done. Let's put... Oh no, wait, not that one. Jason Kruger says, have you played or watched video of Aftermath Part 2? I'm currently watching the Gaming Beaver go through it. I've only seen Part 1 though, and I've seen he's uploaded Part 2, so I'll be watching that at some point. Maybe on Monday I'll probably get around to watching that. But I haven't played it. It looks crap. The gameplay looks rubbish. Storyline looks pretty interesting, but like in my head canon, I don't see any other raptors being on Nublar like that. So it's just, I don't see that facility being there. And it's like this, all this technology of like this floating glove and all that, what's in the game. It's like, I don't see that kind of technology being around, and just whatever. It's kind of throwaway. And it doesn't seem to be really anything that's like really important in the game to like the actual movies. Like, I mean, I know it connects directly to the movies, but what I'm saying is there's no information in there that really aids the movies. Which is important for expanded canon. If it's meant to be like hard canon, it's like one of the things is you kind of make it so there's stuff in the expanded material that really helps the movies. Like, really flesh out and really props up what you know and all that sort of stuff. But the game kind of just does stuff where it's like, you don't really need to know about all that. Jurassic Production says, Jack, if I was a toy maker, I would make Dino-Defender Extreme toys. Cool. On the job filmmaking. Ed Regis' death was cool and scary, but Dodson's death was awesome and deserved Sarah pushing him out from under the cone. He gets picked up by the Rex and eaten by the babies. And he says that because Scooby Snack asks, Jack, what's your favourite death in both novels? Nedry's and Had Me Sick as a Kid. I will go with Ed Regis' death, same with On the Job Filmmaking. Just because I love the idea of the little T-Rex like toying with him. I don't know why I was like really disturbed by that when I was reading it when I was younger. Right, am I forgetting anything? No, right, let's start to do this. So I think, if I remember correctly, I've got to smash up its face. So, no, it's too needs to be more blunt like that, right? Yeah. Maybe stick it out a little bit like that. Okay. Carlos Vega says, I love Maisie. I hope she gets enough screen time in Dominion. There is a lot of potential family tension drama between her, Erwin and Claire. Maisie's life was a complete lie in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's hard. I'm guessing he's going to write some more. But yes, I can't talk about Dominion, but just yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It looks like it's got like the gun coming out of its eye. Gun eye. Watch out, it's Gun Eye. He has a gun for an eye. Coming this summer, the gun for an eye. It could almost be paradise. But when Gun Eye comes to play, people start losing eyes and replacing them with guns. Legendary asks, do you think Dr. Wu is going to die the same way as in the novel? I can't talk about it. Can't talk about Dominion. The island abandoned. The experiment terminated. They fought. I can't remember what it is now. What is it? I need to find it now. I think I posted it on my Instagram. My favourite Jurassic Park 3 trailer. Here it is. Not that one. This summer. Wait, was it that one? I thought I posted 2. Yeah, here you go.
The island was abandoned. The experiment was terminated. They thought nothing had survived. They were wrong. Oh my god.
That's it. The island abandoned. The experiment terminated. They thought nothing had survived. They were wrong. Electric Dino 75 says, today's my birthday. Well, here we go. Ready? He's got the gun there, and he is shooting out. Happy 75th birthday. Could get it, because your name is Electric Dino 75. Confetti flying out. Happy birthday. There's a good question. Jurassic Heroes says, what's your most underrated animal in the Jurassic franchise? Mine's the Mosasaurus. Most underrated. I can't. Okay, we're not including. I can't include Dominion for obvious reasons, but also I couldn't include Dominion anyway because that's like a new movie. So like the thing that I would want to say has only appeared in that movie, so it doesn't really count. So, Sorry, just to interject, Hot Creamy Fart says, he said, sorry, Bladekin, you brought a nose knife to a gunfight. What is my favorite, the most underrated Jurassic Dino in my opinion? Going through my head like what's in the movies and how they could have been used. You know what? Dare I say it? I'm going to go with the Mamenchiasaurus. It's in that one scene in The Lost World, and like I really wish we kind of saw more of it. I love the idea, like this thing with this insanely long neck and tiny little head. So I'm gonna go with that. It'd be cool to like have a scene of that. Maybe the Stegosaurus as well. Like I want to see on screen a T-Rex versus Stegosaurus fight. That's what I want to see. Badly. Jason Kruger says, oh yeah, I was talking to someone about that old Jurassic Park 3 trailer. They were saying you used the experiment abandoned line to write woo thing on the Mazarani site about the Spino. Couldn't remember if you really did or not. No, we used the all the behind the scenes and the marketing promos for Jurassic Park 3 as inspiration for what we wrote on the DPG website. So like the whole amalgam testing and stuff. Like the island was abandoned. The experiment terminated. They thought nothing had survived. They were wrong. It's like that was inspiration, because the idea is that like there was secret cloning going on and they thought everything died and all that. But yeah, so that's where that comes from. Right, let's do this. Let's add the dirt. Let's add the dirt and the scum and all the details. Hello, Hawkins family. Hello, James. How we diddling? Jack, do you watch Cobra Kai? No, I've seen only the free Karate Kid movies. The first three. I know there's like others. The originals. I've only seen those. I haven't seen Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, gun in the eye. Jurassic Hero asks, what's your favourite Camp Cretaceous character? I like Darius because his enthusiasm on dinosaurs reflects mine as a dinosaur dog. What's my favourite character? I liked that one guy, what's his name, from season 2, Hap, that guy. I don't like how he jumped out of a moving vehicle, Alan Grant style, to take on 3 baryonyx to sacrifice himself. I thought that was a bit silly. I didn't mind like him, facing down the 3 baryonyx, but it was just the way he like jumped out of this vehicle to go do it. It was a bit like OTT, but yeah, he's probably my favourite, but that's not really saying much. Amber Production says, finish the line. Where's the crew? All over the place. You gotta say it like Ludlow. Oh, where's the crew? all over the place. Hawkins family asks, how's Penny? Who's Penny? This summer he brings a gun eye to a gun elbow fight. Gun elbow. There's the best Jurassic Park character ever. Gun elbow. Where was he? Yeah, I don't really like any of the characters in Camp Cretaceous. They're all really annoying and cringe. There's nothing for me to lock onto. And the thing is, like, I know I'm an adult, I'm not the target audience, yada yada yada, but I know for a fact if I was watching that show as a kid, I wouldn't like any of the characters. Like, I'm watching the Godzilla animated series at the moment, and I liked those characters back in the day, and I still like those characters as an adult. I like the fact that they're like scientists and adults experience this thing. And I kind of wish Camp Cretaceous, while it could have had like kid characters in it, it would have been more interesting if the main characters of the show were like park staff or veterinarians with an ACU guy or something, like more interesting characters. And then if they're adults, you can have them like killed off. You know, if they're all worried about, oh, you can't kill the kids, and then you have like the closest we've probably got to, like, aside from Ben falling from the train, is when is it Sammy, the girl, gets stabbed by the tail of E750. And I honestly thought when I was watching that she was going to die. I was like, oh great, they're actually going to like kill off a character and have the balls to. And they had that Yaz, is it, the sporty character, like running to go and like rescue her, and like the emotion in that scene, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill her off, and we're gonna have this, like, she's remembering all the times with Sammy, or you know, all this sort of stuff, and she's gonna die, and we're actually gonna have some emotional weight to these characters. Nope. None of that happened. Jason Kruger says that's another part of the franchise just overrun with headcanon. I get that it's not entirely conveyed properly, but come on, the buck T-Rex killed the crew. Raptors were never a part of it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's easy. The T-Rex killed the crew. It's all there on screen. The only thing that's a bit odd is the hand on the wheel. But even then, it's like, who cares? Let's add some fun little details in here. Like wires hanging out of here. Jurassic Product says, Jack, I'm going to try and send you a custom Mega Raptor from Dino-Defenders Extreme. Cool! Jurassic Heroes says, that mech looks badly damaged. I guess it got destroyed by Knifehead. You'll have to wait and see what happens. Carlos Vega says, I thought Yaz was one of the best until they decided to repeat We Are Not Really Friends forced drama between her and Sammy with all the cheesy flashbacks. Yeah, it's not... The thing is, the characters don't progress in that show, really. They're just so cringe. I'm like, really? These are the characters we got? It's like the one thing I want from a Jurassic property, even if it's meant to be aimed at children, you know, the show, is I want it to be cool, and Camp Cretaceous is just not cool. It's severely lacking in cool. I just can't get over like all the, like, it reminds, like, the dialogue and stuff that these characters say and do in Camp Cretaceous. It just reminds me of like that like the people behind the show just fundamentally don't understand kids. and what I mean by that is like all the camp counselors and stuff being like, whoop whoop, this is what camp's about, yeah, like all this sort of stuff. It just reminds you of that meme of that clip of Steve Buscemi going, how you doing, fellow kids? Like, it's like when I was a kid, you want to watch something cool. I wouldn't want to have watched people going, whoop whoop, yeah, camp, hooray. Like, oh, shut the hell up. Yeah, Woo wasn't too bad, Carlos in CC. On the Job Film says, Jack, just wondering, are you planning on any Pterodome 3000 videos where you're in the Pterodome? I'm always, I've got so many ideas for that. It's just time, and I just don't really have that at the moment. But I will get round to doing more at some point. Probably between the release of episode 4 of Dino-Defenders and episode 5 production beginning. Maybe I'll get some stuff done there when I want to have a break from doing this for a little while. But yeah, no, I've got so many things planned for that. I will get around to doing it again, because I really want to. Okay. Hawkins says, if they made Camp Cretaceous 4 episodes long each season, but like an hour of great storytelling, I think the show would have benefited so much. Yeah. I should do. I should bend one of these. I was saying this on the Discord about the Camp Cretaceous characters. Like, when I say like they should be cool, or like the show's missing cool, or they're cringe and stuff, it's like, had the characters in Camp Cretaceous been more like those in Jurassic Park the game, okay? Now I know they're not the best, but at least they feel like, you know, like, think of Jerry Harding and Dr. Sorkin's conversation when she's like trying to release the Tylosaurus. Like, that's totally fitting with the subject matter of Jurassic Park, and you know, and all that implies. You just don't get really anything like that in Camp Cretaceous. They're more like, we need to get off this island, man. This island's killing us, man. Hey, let's have a yacht party. Yeah, dude, let's have a yacht party. Oh, man. Boo, I scared you. Oh, it's like, oh, God's sake. Shut up. Shut up, or actually try and escape off the island. Man, we tried everything to get off this island. We tried a broken helicopter. We tried taking the gyrospheres off. We tried building a raft. It's like, oh, God. We tried just going to the hotel and finding a phone, an emergency phone line, or a mobile phone in the lost and found. You ever done that? No? Oh, okay. It's another rant about Camp Cretaceous stream. Ooh. James said, I got another tier rank system planned. Ewan's should be a good one. For those of you that don't know, I went on Jurassic Unicast's channel and we did a ranking system. We ranked the human deaths in the Jurassic Park series, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for the next one, James. Like, look forward to watching it. Epic King Edward says, isn't the first episode of season 2 them just going through lost and found looking for phones, but they were all dead? Yes, but they only did it on Main Street. If the show, they have so many hotels on that island in the established canon, it's like they're not looking hard enough. But the show just has this fundamental flaw, in my opinion, of just not utilising all what's on the island, or what we know is on the island. And I just wish they did, because it would make the show interesting. Because you'd have to the writers would have to find ways of like making sure the characters are stuck there, even though they actually have all the means to get off the island. This as reference. Yeah, exactly. Jurassic Heroes. It's the point I brought up, that they could have used the hotels. Epic King Edward said, but didn't all the food spoil so they couldn't stay at the hotels either? The pizza's spoiled. They show them only eating pizza. Like, do you know how much canned food would be in the kitchens of those hotels? Loads. Absolutely loads. Plus, kill a dinosaur and roast it. Land That Time Forgot style. Hey, the other day I watched The People That Time Forgot. Now that's a fun movie. And I think when Dominion rolls around in 2022, I think The People That Time Forgot might have some significance. It's a great movie. If you got to watch The Land That Time Forgot, the Doug McClure one from 1975, and then watch The People That Time Forgot. Two great movies. Cheesy, but really fun. Electric Dino 75 says, so the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 is not a hybrid. That's weird. Jason Krieger says, so much non-perishables waiting to be eaten. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the 2013 Land That Time Forgot Jurassic Hero. Big Shark. Alright, Jack and everyone. It was nice chatting with you all, but I've got to head out. See ya. Bye, Big Shark. Thanks for the tip. Always appreciated. They even go to Kenji's dad's place, says James. Didn't even look, did they? No. And speaking of Kenji's dad place, I swear, right, in the first or second episode of season 2, I think it's the first one, they say about, they went to Kenji's dad's apartment and they tried to get in and they complain at Kenji because they said, but Kenji forgot the code to get in, and he's like, hey, don't look at me, my dad never gave me it, or something like that, right? So like Kenji forgot the passcode to get into the building, right? They tried going there. And then when you get to season 3, they're rocking up to Kenji's dad's place, and Kenji's like, welcome to Casa del Kenji, and they're like, whoa, and he's like, blah, 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 and he's introducing it to the characters, but you've established in season 2 that they've already been there. So, like, why are they acting surprised going there again? Like, unless I missed something, but it felt to me like they messed up their own internal storytelling there by having the characters act like they've seen the apartment for the first time, even though they've said they've been there, unless I missed something. On the job filmmaker said, Jack, if you could make a Cloverfield film, what would it be about? It would be about the guy on the bridge with the camera in the first film. Because J.J. Abrams, there's a bit where like they're on the bridge just before the monster attacks, and the camera pans around and another guy pans around with a camera, and they cross lenses. And J.J. Abrams, I remember in an interview saying that if they ever did a sequel, it would be about that guy, and they never did it. That's what I would do. About him during that first attack. And you'd get a bit more like information on what was going on through his perspective. Hello, Alex. Howdy, gang. I've arrived. Hello there. Rob Roy says, here's something I want to talk about if you're interested. Well, what is it? Spit it out. Jason Kruger says, I do personally think the Spinosaurus was a male. We know so little about the 1999 operation that breeding females may not have even mattered to them. Yeah, I don't know what the Spinosaurus is, male or female. Right. Have you seen La Brea? That's Jurassic Heroes. No. All I know is about people who fall down a hole at the La Brea tar pits and end up back in some prehistoric era. I haven't seen it. Carlos Vegas says, man, 10 Cloverfield Lane is so good. Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman are amazing in it. I like that one more than the original Cloverfield movie. I really like 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I really enjoyed the first one. If I had to pick a favourite, I'd go with the first one, just because it's like, I think they did a really good job with like the found footage style on such a large scale. I think that's why I like it, because a lot of found footage movies, they're in an enclosed claustrophobic setting and all, you know, but this was like, no, this is like, what if a Godzilla type monster attacked the city and you're seeing it from a video cam perspective? Like, I appreciated that, and I really like that. It's like a large movie but told through a small lens, and that was really interesting and done well. Whereas 10 Cloverfield Lane, as good as the acting is and the way it's shot and everything, I've seen that type of movie before. It didn't really do anything new. It was just a really, really well-made movie. But like Cloverfield took, like, you know, what Blair Witch Project did, but changed the whole like setting. It was like, no, now this is like a large-scale thing happening, and I hadn't seen that before. All previous found footage movies, yeah, like I said, were really like tight locations or in a forest. Oh, what have I done with my little... Oh, what have I done with my tab group? Come here. Get back in there. There we go. Rob Rice, okay, so he says something that will probably go unnoticed until I start speaking about it is the people that once lived on Nublar and probably the Murters, I can't say the word, Murters Archipelago, I can never say that word, over all the tons sea. I say this regarding recent events that have happened in Canada and the outrage coming from it. You're kind of speaking in vaguities there, but I don't really know much about what's going on in Canada. But what about it? What about the people that once lived on Nublar? Okay, let's get this. And we will warp it a little bit. I just want it to be a little bit rounder looking. There we go. Sexy. Oh wait, did I draw any damage on this? Ah yes, look. Little bit of blip. Little bit of blip. Gotta add that blip. Add the blip. Rob Rice says how they were killed and forced out in order to construct Jurassic Park. Were they killed? I can't remember them being killed. They might have. Was that in like Jurassic Park the game? Do that. I actually want to redo the holes here. On the Job Filmmaker says Super 8 is a Cloverfield movie that they have Sleuth Show in the gas station, and the gas station Kelvin is in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Is Super... I don't know. I didn't know about that. I didn't really like Super 8. I thought the train crash sequence was done really well. Bear in mind, I'm going off memory here. It's been years since I've watched it, but I remember liking the train crash sequence and thinking that was done really well. But then I remember the rest of the movie. I was just bored. I was like, don't really care about this movie. I was more interested in that zombie movie that the kids were making in the movie. I thought that looked great. You know what? I need, like, perfect circles. Yeah, it was Stranger Things before Stranger Things, Carlos Vega. Have you ever seen the movie The Gate from the 80s? Radio. Hello, Gary. Welcome back. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay, I'm just going to tweak some of the outside area. James Hawkins says, I meant the Spino identifies itself as a penguin. What? What are you talking about? Oh, you talking about like if it's male or female, but it identifies as a penguin. Oh, I get you now, boy. And Gary says, oh, Calypso is spelt with a Y. Oh, shit. Yes, Calypso. And let me pull up, so I don't get it wrong, the definition of Calypso. Oh, wait. Okay, etymology. The name Calypso may derive from the ancient Greek meaning to cover, to conceal, or to hide. So, according to Entomologicum Magnum, long word, can't really say it late at night, her name was concealing the knowledge. So Calypso was a nymph who lived on the island of Ogygia, where, according to Homer's Odyssey, she detained Odysseus for 7 Odious, sorry. My God, I can't pronounce his name. Ulysses. For several years. But the point is, it's like a character who was concealing, can hide. So obviously Calypso in the storyline of Dino-Defenders is a robot designed to go, or mech designed to go inside the paddock and mingle amongst the dinosaurs to hide. So hence the name Calypso. Jurassic Production says, Jack, question, are there 2 Megaraptors? No, there's only one in the show. Might just damage the head a little bit more. helps make the gun not just look like it, like make it look like the gun is its eye. Jurassic Production says, because back in episode 3, the Megaraptor ate off a guy's arm, does a dope-ass backflip, and then it ate the other guy fast, and they were far from each other. They weren't that far from each other. Also, you don't know the time difference between the backflip and then eventually eating. That Megaraptor's fast, by the way. There are 2 Megalosauruses. Yes, that is true, Gary. 2 Megalosauruses, not 2 Megaraptors. Only one. I can confirm. Right. Just want to add like a little bit more damage to this thing. Get it looking nice and beat up. Okay, let's see if we can add a... see you later, James. Thanks for coming along. Have a good night. All the best to you and the fam. You know what? I preferred it without. Okay. Let me save this. Still want to do a bit more onto the background. Just add more cracks and damage on this stuff. The island abandoned. The experiment terminated. They fought. Nothing had survived. They were wrong. Oh yeah, they were wrong. It's funny to think that, like, technically in the canon, they're also talking about the Jurassic Park 3 pteranodons. I don't know how many people know this, but like in the novelization and the shooting script for Jurassic Park 3, there was a line from Alan Grant where he said they weren't on InGen's list, which I think they omitted that line from the movie because they probably caught wind of the pteranodon being on the list in The Lost World. But technically it can still work because it's not those specific pteranodons that were on InGen's list. But yeah, there's actually a line from Grant. And I think even in the behind the scenes material, Joe Johnston even says it. He says the pteranodon was one of those animals that Hammond's company didn't tell anyone about. Like, he says that in a behind the scenes video. What's my favourite dinosaur ever? T-Rex and or Baryonyx on whatever given day. Right now it's the Baryonyx. I really want to watch Life as a House really badly, but I can't find anywhere. I'll have to get the DVD. Yes, do it, man. Great movie. Hayden Christensen's best movie. Well, I wonder if I should blur this. Let's have a look. Wonder how that'll look. Well, that's quite nice. That's quite nice, I tell you. That's quite nice. That's that blur, that's quite nice. Okay, it's getting late. Getting late on the old Pterodome. Getting late on the old Pterodome. Doing some painting late at night. Drinking some energy drink when I shouldn't, because I gotta go to bed soon. Screwing with my body, messing with my mind, making all dinosaurs all the time. What is your favourite pterosaur, Jack? Quetzalcoatlus. Jason Krieger says Jurassic Park 3 behind the scenes is fun. Everyone's super enthusiastic about the film, especially Jack Horner and his Spino hype. Yeah. There's some interesting tidbits. I just wish there was like a more in-depth documentary done on Jurassic Park 3. Like all the early scripts, like really in depth on the troubled production, kind of like Wreckage and Rage, the Alien 3 documentary. I want that, but for Jurassic Park 3. Not like saying everyone hated the production or anything, but just more like the honest opinions on it, good or bad. Okay, I think we are done. We are done here. So let me just add a shadow under this. Drop shadow. Whee, look at that. Ruined it. Ruined the picture. Wait, why is it doing it like that? Oh, no. There we go. Why is it like that? We want like this. It's coming from that side as well. Oh, it's because I'm stuck out. We don't really... Oh, no, actually. If we put a layer underneath, we can add a bit of a shadow under there. There you go. On the job film says, welcome to the Terror Dome number 3000. Jason says, that's what I'm hoping the new visual history book will help with, since it's only covering the first 3 films. We've gotten a ton for JP and Lost World already. Hopefully. I've got that on pre-order. Hopefully that's what it does. Okay. Alright, that's what I've done for today. That'll do. And yes, so I'm done for the day. Thank you very much, guys, for coming to tonight's stream. Anything else you guys want to chat about quickly before I have to go? Any questions? Just throw them at me quickly, and I'll throw answers back at you quickly. God, I will be up peeing like a racehorse tonight. Oh, God, did you hear that? That was my back. Everyone's just saying goodnight. On the job film exists. Have you seen Dominion? Right, good night, guys. Bye. The island terminated.